A UK tribunal says that Uber drivers are workers, Comma AI cancels its first product, Facebook tests Snapchat-style filters, and more. It's Friday, October 28th, and this is Crunch Report. Uber has long argued that its drivers are self-employed contractors, but an employment tribunal in the United Kingdom disagrees. It ruled that Uber drivers are workers and therefore entitled to holiday pay, paid rest breaks, and the national minimum wage. The tribunal basically rejected the picture that Uber paints of itself as a platform that partners with drivers to provide them with business opportunities. In fact, it said that Uber's position is faintly ridiculous. The case was specifically about Uber, so it remains to be seen whether these arguments will also be applied to other sharing economy type companies operating in the UK. As for Uber, it released a statement saying that being your own boss is a big part of what draws drivers to the service in the first place. The company also says it will appeal the decision. Comma AI, the self-driving car startup from iPhone hacker George Hotz, has canceled its first product, an add-on device called the Comma AI that was supposed to give some cars highway driving assistance. Apparently, this comes after the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration wrote a letter to the company asking for detailed answers around things like the Comma AI's design, testing practices, and safety trials. Those might seem like reasonable questions for a regulatory agency to ask about a device that's supposed to be able to take over the operation of your car, at least temporarily, but Hotz said dealing with regulators and lawyers isn't worth it. Instead, he said he'll be focusing on other products and markets. In fact, he noted that he was tweeting from Shenzhen, China. Facebook has overhauled its in-app camera to make it a little more Snapchat-like with a variety of different photo filters and graphics, things like clothing and accessories, geo-filters that show different graphics describing where you are, and filters that make your footage look like it was painted by Van Gogh. The social network is calling this the new camera, and it says it will be accessible with a right swipe from the newsfeed, at least to users in Ireland where the feature is being tested out initially. Earlier this year, Facebook launched a test of selfie masks in Brazil and Canada. So this is clearly an area that the company wants to move into, even if it isn't quite ready to release something globally. More UK news. Apple is increasing the pound sterling price of all Macs by as much as 25%. Basically, the pound has taken a hit since the UK's vote to leave the European Union, so it looks like Apple took advantage of the line-wide refresh that it announced yesterday to also reformulate its prices. The entry-level Mac laptop now costs £949, a full £100 more expensive than it was a few days ago. Apple isn't the first company to respond to post-Brexit currency fluctuations in this way. Microsoft and HTC have also announced price increases in the past few months. Did you know that Microsoft announced a new Surface Book laptop this week? The news kind of got buried. After all, Apple had a press event this week where it announced new MacBooks, and even though Microsoft held its own event a day earlier, the focus was on the new all-in-one computer, the Surface Studio. Today, Microsoft is putting the spotlight back on its laptops by announcing a new trade-in program. If you trade in your Apple laptop, you'll get up to $650 towards the purchase of a Surface Pro or Surface Book. Naturally, Microsoft is also using the campaign to highlight the fact that Apple still hasn't brought a touchscreen to its laptops, unless you count the narrow touch bar that's coming soon. The trade-in runs through November 10th in Microsoft's retail and online stores in the United States. That's the report for today. I'm Anthony Ha, filling in for Tito Hamzy, who has one more update for us from South Korea.
What's up, TechCrunch? I'm at the DMZ in South Korea with my new friend here. This is pretty crazy. Right across there, you can see North Korea. Let me show that to you. Right over there is North Korea. Can't really see it because it's foggy, but I'm gonna zoom in and show you. Look at that. That's all North Korea right there. Just hanging out here with all my friends from Be Success. This place is surreal. It's also pretty cool. All right, back to you, Anthony.
By the way, Tito should be heading home soon, so I'm only going to be filling in one more time before he's back. And of course, Crunch Report airs every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TechCrunch.com. You can also find us on iTunes and on YouTube. I'll see you on Monday.